guys, I'm Aveline and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building an off-the-grid house because with the last update that we got for base game, they actually updated the off-the-grid section. So they actually added an off-the-grid section to the build by catalog, so it's easier to find the items, and therefore I really wanted to do something new with it. I wanted to build something off the grid because it's been a while, and I don't know, I like the update. I like the fact that there's a whole section just for off-the-grid items. So I actually started building this before Eco Lifestyle came out. I started building it before the update came out as well, but I already knew what was going to be in it, so I just kind of prepared a shell, if you will. But I felt like yesterday it was about time that I finished it up, so yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. It's built in Windenburg, not in Evergreen Harbor. I will be going back to building in Evergreen Harbor from today though, or not today's video, but the next video, because I'm still planning on just getting through as many builds as possible so that I can release next version of my save file, because it's been a while since I haven't actually released an updated version. It's just been that first video or the first version, so I really want to update it. So yeah, I'm planning on going back to Evergreen Harbor after this one. I just felt like with this house it had to be small, and it just fits in really well here in Windenburg. I knew what I wanted the landscaping to look like as well, with a little pond up against the house or leading to the house, or however you explain that. You can see it here in this little midsection of the house where I actually used one of the new doors from Eco Lifestyle. I love that door. I think I've said that like 10-20 times already, but it's a very beautiful door. It lets in a lot of light, and when you're building off-the-grid houses, that's always a good thing. It's always a good thing to just add in as much natural light as possible, because you don't have the biggest selection of light to put in the house. We basically only have access to, well, candles. That's all that works. So I think there's one oil lamp as well, but that's about it. So as much light as possible, as much natural light as possible, and those doors really help, even though it's just this like middle section that I basically turned into kind of like a lounge area slash also gardening area. There's a couple of vertical gardens in there. I still think it's very important to let in a lot of natural light when it comes to off-the-grid houses. You'll also see me do something special with the roofing in the attic room actually. So this house is for a family. It's for two parents and also a kid. The kids' room is sort of under the roof. So I've done an A-frame roof tutorial where I'm using the same method to do the house or to do the roof on this house as well. So if you're interested in that, the tutorial is up on my channel. You can definitely find it like very easily. Just search for A-frame tutorial Aveline and it'll turn up on YouTube. But I'm basically using the same method that I used to make A-frame houses to do the roofing on this house, because it makes it a little bit easier to decorate under the roof. So your camera is not bobbing all over the place, and you also get to, or you have the opportunity to add skylights and stuff. So you'll see that later on. So far, at this point in the building process, I hadn't fully decided that I wanted there to be a proper room upstairs. You can see that I've placed down the ladder, but that's about it. So yeah, I fixed that later on, and it turns out to be a little bit bigger than it is right now. Because right now it's basically just a 3x3, and one of the squares is for the ladder. So it's an 8 square bedroom, which I don't know, I felt a little bit sorry for the kid, and I just wanted them to have extra space so that they could also have toys up there. So I made that possible, and you'll see the process later on. So far, we are just decorating the kitchen and also the dining room. And basically, my main thing when it came to this house, other than making sure that I could let in as much natural light as possible, of course, I could have chosen bigger windows to do that. I could have made this slightly like renovated, so you'd have a lot of like big modern windows. That would actually be really good for an off-the-grid house. The only thing is the items that we can use for off-the-grid houses are not modern, so I feel like the two kind of clash, and I don't like that. There is the whole thing with Eco Lifestyle though. I'll get into that in just a little bit because I do play some things outside, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But my main thing other than the natural light was to just place down as many surfaces as possible so that I could place a lot of candles as well, because we don't really have any wall lights to use for off-the-grid houses. We don't have any floor lamps either, unless you want to use this kind of like castle-looking floor light with candles and stuff. Like, it looks kind of weird. We also have chandeliers, but they're too big to use in a cottage like this, so I'm not gonna bother. So my main thing was, like I said before, to just make sure that I could place down as many candles, as many smaller candles as possible, so that they could still have some light in here when it's dark. Because when it's dark outside and you don't get any natural light in the house. That makes sense. Didn't have to explain that, but just, I don't know, just want to explain my point. Anyways, so yeah, about the eco lifestyle thing. There is a couple of solar panels on one of the roofs, and I also added a dew collector outside. So if you want to place down, you're gonna have to check your bill, because I don't remember how much electricity the solar panels produce, but you can live off the grid if you have your own, like, if you can produce your own electricity and also water, you can still live off the grid according to The Sims. So I added a couple of those just in case you want to place down some actual lamps. There is also the dew collector, so if you want to change something in the bathroom, maybe you can do that, or you can put in a sink that's a little bit prettier and a little bit more fitting for the kitchen, possibly, if you want to do that. And yeah, just something to keep in mind if you're interested in building off-the-grid houses. As far as I've been told, the house will still be off the grid. Like, you can still have the off-the-grid trade and then place down these items and just possibly add a few items that require electricity to your household, which I think is pretty cool. I was told that it works like this, but I haven't actually play tested it yet myself. But there's a couple of items here, like I said before, so if you want to play test it in this build, if you decide to download it, you can do that. Please let me know if you do play test it, or if you already have play tested it in the past, let me know as well, because that's definitely something that would make off-the-grid living a little bit more fun, I think. I like when my families have, or just my houses, not necessarily my families, but I like when they have TVs, for example. I like when they can sit down and just get their fun up a little bit faster, so it would be great to be able to place down a TV. Not necessarily lights, I'm good with candles, I love candles, but it's always nice for the family to have a TV, so there hasn't been a lot of videos up on the channel this week. I didn't get to say this in the Barbie video that I released Tuesday night. I was so tired of editing that video. I recorded it like Saturday night. I usually, because I have to put on makeup first when I do face cam and stuff, so I get started really late. Basically, I always start recording in the AM and I'm done at like 4, which is stupid. I should just put on makeup earlier and get started earlier. I'll get better at it. Anyways, but yeah, I was finished, or I recorded that video Saturday night in the AM, and then I sat down for most of Sunday, or not most of Sunday, no. A couple of hours before my mom and my brother came over here, and then a couple of hours after they left. They were here from like 6 p.m. until 1 a.m., so I didn't have a lot of hours that day to edit the video, but I did manage to edit for like 5 hours total, or 3 to 5 hours total, something like that. And then, of course, my program decided to glitch out on me when I had to go to bed. So when I got up on Monday, I found out that the whole thing that I edited, I had to redo it because for some reason the audio track wasn't synced with the video track anymore, and since I'd already edited it, I couldn't just move them a little bit because they were edited into clips. So I had to redo the whole thing. And then Tuesday, when I got home from just being in the city with my mom, I actually really wanted, like, my plan was to release the video on Monday so that I could move on to something next for Tuesday. But I couldn't because I wasn't done editing because it took so long to fix. And then when I came home Monday or Tuesday from hanging out with my mom, we had to go buy a couple of things and stuff. I found out that I had to redo the whole thing again. So I decided to just sit down and finish the whole thing in like one evening, which took like 7-8 hours or so because I had to like redo the whole thing again. So I got really annoyed with that video. It's just like, I just want to get it out of the way now. Like, I just want to finish it up, render it, and upload it right away. I haven't posted anything for 2 days. it was starting to bother me as well, but I didn't want to scrap the whole video because I had a lot of fun recording it, and I think the video turned out okay as well, and I really wanted you guys to see it. So I was just so set on just finishing it up and rendering it and posting it right away so that I could get it kind of like get that cursed video away from me because it just kept glitching over and over and over again. I've never experienced technical difficulties like that, like ever. Sure, Premiere Pro has its issues, but I've never experienced that glitch. So yeah, that took a couple of days to say the least. It took like 3 or so. And then the past couple of days I've also been super busy on top of that, so I just haven't had time to actually sit down and record a new video other than this one. So that's why there's been no videos up, or not a lot of videos up this week, just in case you were wondering. But I'm planning on sitting down today. I'm gonna record both a challenge and probably like a reno or something, I'm not really sure. And yeah, there should be plenty of videos up this weekend and hopefully also next week. I am hoping for no more technical difficulties like that because it's super annoying. I don't want to deal with it. It gets in the way of everything and no thank you. So yeah, but just in case you're wondering why it's been a little bit quiet, that would be why. Just technical difficulties and I've been busy with other stuff that's work related as well, so it's just kind of, you'll see, it's just been a bit quiet. But anyways, we have moved on to the upstairs, so I think the whole downstairs is actually done. This is the kids' bedroom. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, or I don't know, it's a kid. But they have their own little, actually I really like this room, it's very cozy. I do have to change the wallpaper later on just because otherwise I would have to use the same Parenthood wallpaper on the roof, and I think that looks a little bit strange. So far, I hadn't really touched the exterior much other than just placing down roof pieces. I gave them a roof texture as well, and of course, I fixed the whole shell and also added windows, but there's no landscaping other than the pond, which is basically just like a draft of a pond because there's no landscaping around it, no plants or anything. And then, yeah, basically just the shell is done. So not a whole lot going on outside so far, but that's basically why I have to go back and change the wallpaper in just a little bit. But it's a really cozy little bedroom they have up here. I added the skylight just because I felt like I didn't really want to put a lot of candles in a children's bedroom. I feel like that's a little bit unsafe. I don't know. I wasn't allowed to have candles in my bedroom when I was a kid, so why would this kid be allowed to have candles in their bedroom, you know? So I think I ended up giving them one that is closed off, but I didn't want to have the open ones up there. So I figured, like, how would I fix that? How would I make sure that they still have light in their bedroom while they can't have a lot of candles up there? So I gave them a skylight instead, and it did help, but at night it does get a little bit dark, so of course, because there's no sun outside, the moon does help a little bit, but I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. Let's just ignore that. I was up until like 6:30 yesterday. It's fine. I am good. My voice has taken a beating, but it's completely fine. Just ignore that. If it goes away, well, I'll just keep talking and you can't hear me. That's fine. But yeah, it did help a little bit, so especially during the day. So that's what that skylight was for. Again, I've also done a skylight tutorial. It's on my channel. You can find it if you search for skylights, I think, and then skylights tutorial Aveline or something like that. You should be able to find it easily. And since we're already talking about tutorials, I get a lot of questions these days. Also, just a quick side note, ignore the staircase. I do change it. I'm just completely tunnel visioning right now, but it's super annoying that it's white. I realize that, but I do change it, so don't worry. In the uploaded version, it's dark brown or some other color that fits the rest of the house. Anyways, my point was, since we are talking about tutorials, I got a lot of questions lately regarding the red shelf, and you can always find a download link to the shelf in the description down below. And there's also 1 or 2 videos linked on how to use the shelf, so if you're not really sure on what it is, you can check out the videos. If you know what it is but you haven't been able to find it, there is the download link. I just got a lot of questions about it lately, so I thought I would bring it up. It's been a while since I've actually addressed it in a voiceover too, but that's basically what it is. It's just an item I use to place clutter a little bit easier, and I use it a lot, can highly recommend it. It's a CZ piece, so if you're playing on console, you can't actually download it. That is just how the game works. But yeah, you can find all info on that in the description down below. Other than that, we are just doing some landscaping, I think. I wanted this to look a little bit wild, but not overly done, because I also wanted to use flowers. I feel like if you end up using a lot of flowers, the landscaping just ends up looking way too busy. I don't know what it is. It's just whenever I've tried to use a lot of flowers, it just always ends up looking like there's just too much going on or something. So tone down the flowers a little bit, but you know, I still wanted there to be a couple of yellow ones, for example. I've used a mix of, I think, both cats and dogs bushes. There's romantic garden stuff pack, of course, and also base game, but I think that's actually about it. Oh no, we also have the jungle adventure. Actually, I was about to say that it's very pack exclusive, but it's very pack inclusive. I've used 4 different packs for just the landscaping and then for the house. I didn't really think about packs for this house, to be honest. I rarely do. And when I do pack exclusive houses or pack restricted houses, they'll mostly just be base game, because I feel like it's easier to kind of swap out things. If you have, for example, base game and 2 stuff packs, it's easier for you to download the base game house and then swap out things with the items that you do have, instead of me sitting here and building a base game plus outdoor retreat house, and then because someone else has base game plus cats and dogs plus cool kitchen, I have to make a base game cats and dogs and cool kitchen house. You know what I mean? So I think for pack restricted builds, it's just a little bit easier for everyone if you just stick to base game houses. So that was another thing I've gotten a lot of questions about lately, because I've been using Eco Lifestyle a lot and a lot of people don't have that pack yet. So I've been getting a lot of questions if I can just do base game houses. I don't really want to do that right now, because we literally just got a new pack and I want to use it. But at some point, sure. Anyways, that's about it for me today. So if you guys like this house, you can download it on the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky